No, I think it's Yona Put. I think it's Yona Put Kivanok. It's after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or something like that. I, I don't know. What does it matter? I mean, really, what does it matter whether it's morning or afternoon, evening or night? It's another day in the land down under. I woke up this morning, and hmm, oh boy, that's really good. That's good. That's really good. This is my third cup today, and hmm, in case you're wondering, it's right here. Here's my Anzac biscuit. Hmm. I could get used to these, even if they don't have the anise extract or the anise flavor, that the biscotti has that I get from Costco. But they're not bad, really. They're not too bad. Mm. Who's joining us? Oatmeal or chocolate cookie? No, this is an Anzac biscuit. I talked about it yesterday, but anyway, I woke up this morning. I'm getting in the habit. It takes 21 days to form a habit. And I'm getting in the habit of not jumping out of bed like I used to. When I was back in Florida, I would jump out of bed at 4 a.m. Jump out of bed at 4 a.m. and I'd go run, walk down to my office, my home office, and I'd sit at the computer and check my email and do this or do that or whatever. And I still wake up oftentimes around 4:30, but that's usually only because Mother Nature is calling. And then I find my way I find my way back to bed, and I do not let myself sleep or stay in bed till after 6. I try not to. I won't get out of. I won't stay in bed past 6 o'clock. I just won't. I just won't do that. Maybe when I get older, I'll stay in bed a little bit longer. Or maybe if I've got, a nice warm body next to me, mm, I'd stay in bed a little bit longer. But these days, 6 o'clock is it, and I'm up out of bed. But no, part of the thing, it's like getting out of bed these days is inevitably you're gonna get out of bed and turn on the news or the radio or open up the internet or do whatever, and and it's gonna kind of like, is this dream over yet? Is this nightmare 2020, is it over yet with the pandemic thing and the pandemic thing and now the rioting and all that kind of stuff. I I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. And then I woke up this morning and I found myself thinking about I found myself thinking about uh, the phrase "joy to the world." You know that song? I think isn't that a "Joy to the World"? Isn't that's a Christmas song? Joy to the world and all the boys and girls, joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me, or something like that. Hmm. I think I think one might be hard pressed. I think one might be hard pressed to find a lot of joy in this world right now. I was lying there in bed this morning, and I'm thinking to myself, where's the joy? Where's the joy? Somewhere in this world, I guarantee you, somewhere in this world, there's somebody waking up in a nice little tranquil place with all the comforts and a little garden, just cut off from society, just completely cut off. No news, no TV. They probably have never heard the name George Floyd. They probably don't know or don't even care, what's happening in the world. They care about is just their own little space in this world, their own little home and garden. And boy, what I wouldn't give for that. What I wouldn't give to be able to just remove myself, to just be able to remove myself from it all, and just find myself with just everything I need. It's a fantasy, I'm sure. There's no doubt about it that it is a for the most part it's a fantasy. But as you start to get older, you start to think to yourself, that whereas when you were younger, such a fantasy might be, really could become a reality. But then you start to get older and you start to think about your health and all that kind of stuff, and going out into the mountains and living living off the grid, so to speak. Then you got to start thinking about all the health the healthcare and stuff like that. Be positive. Hmm. You're right. You're right about being positive, but you also have to find, between making a choice of being positive or being negative, you also have to be realistic. You see that's the you gotta on one side you've got to try to remain positive and optimistic. You've got to do that. That's important, and I strive to remain optimistic and positive. But on the flip side of that, good good morning. On the flip side of that, you need to be realistic. I mean, you absolutely need to be realistic. So I don't know. This thing today. I wake up today to find out that they upped the charges to this person that killed George Floyd. They upped it to second-degree murder, and they're charging the other cops with accessory to second-degree murder. Okay. Well, if you look at the statistics as far as being able to get a conviction on somebody, a cop, being able to get a conviction on a police officer for second degree murder, meaning they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he intended, that he had his knee on his neck thinking, I want to kill this man. That's what they have to prove. They have to prove that his knee was on his neck, and that going through his idiotic mind was, I'm going to keep my knee on this man's neck until he dies. So they have to prove that he intended for this man to die. And that's going to be tough. That's going to be really, really tough. After so many minutes, he intended to kill him. That's you got to proof is in the video evidence. Yeah, but you can't. It's speculation. I mean, you're speculating what was in his mind. Uh, yes, people were telling him that the man was, they couldn't breathe and what have you. But you've got to. Who knows what's going to come out in this trial? Who knows what's going to come out in the trial? And I don't know. I mean, we can all be optimistic, right? And hope that all four of them, well, I don't even know that I want all four of them to get convicted. There was one guy who I don't know. I'm not even gonna speculate. They were saying that, I saw the footage and all you saw the footage, and I guess there was one guy. I was listening to somebody today. Somebody today was saying that one of the officers was off policing the crowd or something. He may not have even seen what's going on. I don't know. I don't remember. And I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of trying to speculate and guess or whatever, other than just saying that the whole thing was a tragedy. It was an absolute. It was a tragedy. The bottom line is the man was killed needlessly, and he shouldn't have been killed. And look at all the fallout, from this. Look at all the fallout from this situation. It's just absolutely unbelievable. So I was talking to Carlo yesterday, and I told Carlo, I said, boy, I said, if we ever have any of these protests, okay, us Aussies, I'm feeling more and more like an Aussie. But I was telling Carlo that if we ever have any of these big protests or anything here, all they need to do is the police just need to pull up, at the front of the protest and let Carlo step out onto the street. Because when Carlo steps out onto the street, the crowds are going to disperse. When Carlo walks down the street of Melbourne looking for, records, Carlo collects records. He started he started collecting records, like vintage records, bless his heart. And I guess he's gotten quite good at it, like my client Pete Fink, he'll collect cars, big time expensive cars. And Carlo goes around collecting records, like the Bee Gees and Tom Petty and whatever. He's collecting records. But when Carlo goes down into the neighborhoods in Melbourne, to go on a hunt for records, everybody crosses the street when they see him walking down because nobody wants to, be in the way of Carlo. And that would be the way to disperse crowds. If they had a big problem here in Australia, they could just fly Carlo in, and just drop Carlo on the street in front of all the protesters, and then they would just all scatter. They'd see Carlo and they just all say, "Well, we're out of here," or something, something like that. But oh goodness gracious! So today is moving day. Hmm. And I don't know if my two little lorikeets are going to follow me or not. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm waiting for them to show up to tell them that I'm moving. But I went out yesterday. I went out yesterday to meet with these people at that marina where I did that drone shot, and there was always there's always this, when you try to be, I was pulling up to the marina and I was thinking to myself, okay, well, they want to do a swap, if you will. Not a swap, but they want to accommodate me in their apartment. And uh and I didn't know what to expect. I mean, it could have been a little apartment in the back, in the back corner where the guy that washes down all the fish guts and everything from the boats coming in or whatever. It could have just been like a little helper's hand, little apartment or something like that. But anyway, so we're sitting there talking. Wonderful people, wonderful, wonderful people. So we're sitting there talking, and I said, "Do you think I could see the apartment that we're talking about? That you're gonna put me up in?" And they we pulled up. They said somebody's in it at the moment, but we pulled it up on the internet, and my jaw dropped. I looked at this place, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is going to be my home for the next couple nights?" Or something like that. And I just looked at it and I'm moving today in a couple hours. I've got my bag packed. I'm going to say goodbye to this place after 2 weeks, and I'm moving today, and I'm moving into a place that's just got a beautiful terrace right on the water, looking out over the water with a barbecue. Maybe I'll put some shrimp and steak on the Barbie. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight. I'll stop on my way over there and get some steak and shrimp and put some steak and shrimp on the Barbie tonight. I've been in Australia now for 3 months and I've yet to put steak and shrimp on the Barbie. But hmm, tonight you should move to Australia permanently. Now, I don't know about that. We will see. We will see. There's not a Starbucks around here or Dunkin' Donuts. That's the problem. If there were more, if there were, Dunkin' Donuts and what have you around Australia, you know, then they do have Costco though. I'll give them that. They've got Costco's, but there's a dearth. There's your 50-cent word. There's a dearth of Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. But anyway, that's all good. All right, I need to get on with my day, and getting on with my day means calling calling Savannah down in Brazil. So yes, you can live without them. Smelly. What's smelly? You should move to Australia. Um, I gotta call Savannah down in Brazil. Every time I talk to this woman, I'm just amazed. I mean, she's a nice lady, a really, really nice lady. And she always talks about being positive. Goodbye. Talk about being positive. If there were ever a positive person, it would be this woman here. But anyway, that's about it, folks. I hope you all have a good day. I'll do a check-in video a little bit later today. So for many of you back in the States, you'll probably wake up to a Soldier's Point check-in video or something like that. But anyway, stay positive. All right. Take good care, and talk to you later.